This chart that I'm showing you, I have created because I've had a few run-ins with the Canada Revenue Agency. Whenever you hire me to do taxes, I'm not just your tax guy, I'm also acting as what is called a legal agent, because Clause 15 of the Taxpayer's Bill of Rights allows you to select anyone you want to represent you against the CRA. And the Canada Revenue Agency don't like me very much because A, I'm not afraid of them. B, I know every single law. C, I know every single one of their tactics. And D, I humiliate them on a daily basis. This is what I do for a living. And yes, I absolutely enjoy what I do. So Bob Hamilton, who is the commissioner, and I still think he's just a paid actor if you want the truth, has sent me off a letter. Actually, it wasn't even him. It was his secretary. He hides behind women in skirts, like all cowards do, telling me that I can no longer represent people within the CRA. Now, that's not how Canadian law works. You cannot decide who represents who. So what's been happening here is the CRA has been going through my client files and removing me as the individual representative for my client's files, obviously. So one of the tactics that we've brought forward now is I get a 1% share in my client's company provisionally, and that allows me to speak on behalf of the corporation because the CRA has no choice but to speak to a shareholder of the company. They always play this silly game about, well, you're not on our file, it's our policy. Who cares? It doesn't matter what the policy is. I don't work for Coke. I'm not going to do what Coke says. I don't work for Air Canada. Who cares what they've got to say? I'm not following anybody's policy because I don't work for anyone except for you when you hire me. But even then, you don't have policies I'm going to be following. I have tactics I'm going to use to protect you. So, everybody, knowing now that the CRA wants to play these games where they are going to try to decide who represents you and who does not, if you get a lawyer or legal counsel like myself to represent you, here is what happens if the CRA refuses to speak to your legal agent, me, or your lawyer. Here are the crimes they are committing. Check this out, everyone. So, CRA agent behavior, calling you after being told you're represented by counsel. Is it legal? No. Applicable criminal code section. It is a CRA policy violation. The offense description is it violates procedural fairness and taxpayers' rights. What does that mean for you? You can sue them for tort harassment. And tort harassment is the law that I got created for you, Canada, back in Alberta in the year 2022. You can sue the CRA for tort harassment. You can cite the case AHS versus Johnston. Look it up for yourself. It's there waiting for you. Then, if they make repeated unwanted calls or contact after you inform them you have a lawyer, is it legal? No, of course it's not. Criminal Code Section 264, criminal harassment, offense description, repeated conduct causing fear, intimidation, or distress. You can't do it. I can't make phone calls to you threatening you all the time. I would do prison time for that. Let's make sure they do. Next. Threatening legal action without lawful authority. Is it legal? No, of course it's not. That is section 423, intimidation. That's 5 years, everybody. And the offense description would be using threats to force compliance or to suppress legal rights, where they'll tell you, you can't have a lawyer, you've got to pay us now. If you don't pay us now, we're going to take your house. If you don't pay us now, we're going to take your kids. They even threaten to take pets. That's right. So if you have ever put your pets down on your tax returns, they know this and they threaten to take the animals from you. That is intimidation, 5 years in prison. Next, coercing you to avoid your lawyer. Is that legal? No! That is Criminal Code Section 139, subsection 2, obstruction of justice. Yeah. So that's attempting to interfere with legal representation or legal processes. Oh my God, here we go. Misrepresenting legal obligations. So, for example, when they say to you that they're going to take your stuff, take your kids, or you're going to go to prison, you're going to go to jail, you're going to be wearing handcuffs today, if they say that to you in order to get you to give them money, is it legal? No! All right, that is Section 380, fraud. What does that mean? That is knowingly using deception to obtain money or compliance. That's right. And the CRA, they know they can't do these things, but they tell you this anyway. All they have is threats. They have nothing else. Next, demanding money without due process. Right. So if they call you up saying, give us money, even if there's a tax return there, it doesn't matter because a tax return is not a final say. It's not a court order. If they say, give us money, and there's no due process with that, is it legal? No, it's extortion, Section 346 of the Criminal Code. Here we go. This is using threats or abuse of your position or your power to demand funds. Of course, it's a crime. Next, filing false information or threatening false audits. Is it legal? No, it's not legal. Section 366 of the Criminal Code. This is forgery, or Section 368, use of a forged document. And that is falsifying or misusing documents to create pressure. Crime. It's a crime. Acting outside of statutory powers. Is that legal? No, it's not. Section 25, subsection 3. There is no protection for illegal acts. And that would be public officers lose immunity when they act unlawfully. So there's something in Canada called Crown immunity. And that means that the CRA representative, if they are performing just their duties and you sue them, then the CRA will cover their legal expenses. That's all that it means. It does not mean they can do this stuff. And if they commit a crime, we charge them. That's how that works. All right, so then there's causing mental distress or threatening mental harm. Is that legal? No, it's not. That is Section 264, subsection 1, uttering threats, psychological warfare. And that is threats that cause serious physiological and psychological harm. No, they can't threaten you with this stuff. And examples are going to be constant calling you and the constant reminder of prison time, the constant reminder they're going to take your stuff. When they threaten you, when they scream at you, or in the case of that crazy Mark McDonald auditor out of Victoria, BC, when he was telling me that he was going to abuse his powers to destroy me. Like, that is a crime. And then he challenged me to call the cops. And what a wacko. This is what they do, by the way. I challenge you, call the police. I'm going to get away with everything. That's what they say. It's bizarre. Now, when they say that, it's because they're afraid. It's not because they have any power whatsoever. If you're going to threaten someone with court action and they don't react at all, those are the ones who are not afraid. So here we are. And our last one, impersonating legal authority, such as claiming to be a judge, claiming to be friends with a judge, claiming that a spouse is a cop and they're coming to your door. Is that legal? No, it's not legal. That's Section 130, impersonating a police officer, and that's claiming to have authority that you do not possess. The Canada Revenue Agency use all of these illegal tactics every single day, and we the people need to punish them for this. We the people have the power to call the police. The cops in Canada are worthless. They won't file charges, so we go to the courthouse and we do it there. And this is a brand new service that we offer, filing criminal charges against individual CRA representatives. We track them down at home so that we can give the court their home address. We don't go to their houses beyond serving them paperwork. We don't beat them up. We don't take their stuff. We don't take their kids. We don't take their dogs. We don't even speak to them. We just find out where they are, serve them paperwork, go to the courthouse, file criminal charges, and then the police will serve them a summons to appear in court. This is what we do. Hit me up at KevinJJohnston.com if you ever want to make sure that you're never paying taxes again in Canada. It is entirely possible to do very well in Canada, but only if you're not paying tax. And I'm the only guy who tells the truth about the law, the CRA, and taxes. KevinJJohnston.com.